channel. Please share it with your near and dear. There are two more situations where we use could. And now let's see. Could. Subject plus could plus V1. There are two more situations where we use could for past ability. If it is a sentence of past ability with the following, with any of the following, with any of the following verbs, we use only could. All right. The words are here: see, hear, smell, taste, notice, feel, remember, understand. Let me give some examples and after that I'll explain you. I could see him even in the crowd. Could you hear? Could you hear him? I couldn't taste the curry. I couldn't understand what he had said. All right. Okay, we use could, only could, if the situation is in this way. If it is a sentence of past ability with any of the following verbs, we use only could. There is no chance for was or were able to. Only could we have to use. If the verbs are any of the following, like see, hear, smell, taste, notice, feel, remember, understand. If any of these verbs are there in that past ability sentence, let it be even question also, negative sentences also, and let it be even general ability or particular ability also, whatever may be the sentence, we have to use only could. See, for example, I could see him even in the crowd. Even in the crowd also I was able to see. Really, the meaning is I was able to see, but we don't use I was able to see. We have to use only I could see. And in the same way, Even though it is a question, even in questions also we can use when the verb is hear here. So here, could you hear him? Because his voice was generally low, and even at that time also, could you hear what he said? We can say like that. And in the same way, I couldn't taste the curry. Okay, I couldn't understand what he had said. In this way, we use could with these verbs of past ability. Okay, the sentences of past ability. Now we are coming to one more condition, and if right, we use could or was or were able to, was or were able to. In the sentences of positive questions and all negative sentences. All negative sentences. Example. He couldn't carry 50 kg bag. 50 kg bag. He, and otherwise we can use even he was able to. He was able to carry 50 kg bag. We can use like this. For example, if it is question, for example, could you reach there in time? Could you reach there in time? And one more, couldn't you solve the problem? So in this way, so we use could or was or were able to in the sentences of positive questions and all negative sentences also. If the sentences of past ability are of positive questions or any of the negative sentences, negative statements may be, negative questions may also be, in such kind of sentences you can use either could or was or were able to. For example, you see here he couldn't carry, negative sentence it is. So as per this one, in negative sentences we can use either this or that. Okay, he couldn't carry 50 kgs bag. As it is negative sentence, we can also use was able to or were able to also. He was able to carry 50 kg bag. And in the same way, maybe it's a question also. Could you reach there in time? You can even use were you able to reach in time? Were you able to reach in time? Also we can say. And could you solve the problem? We can even say, were you able to solve the problem? Were you able to solve the problem? Such a way you can use, if it is a question or any negative sentences, we use could or was or were able to. and irrespective of general ability or particular ability also. We don't see whether it is particular ability or general ability also, if it is a question or negative sentences. And now let us switch over to questions part, in what way we frame question. WH and how type of. For example, he could understand, the subject. He could understand the subject is the statement. The question for this, simply by changing the order of subject and helping verb could, we can get yes or no type question. Could he understand the subject? Could he understand the subject? Okay, and we can take WH words like who, how many people, and how many, where, when, which, like that. Okay, here how, if you take how, could he understand? How could he understand the subject? Like that. What subject could he understand? Also we can say what subject could he understand. Such a way we can put questions. Okay, negatively, let us take one negative sentence also. Negative. For example, Ravi couldn't carry the bag. Is negative statement, and the question simply by changing the order, Ravi couldn't. Okay, changes into couldn't Ravi carry the bag. Couldn't Ravi carry the bag? And WH questions like why couldn't he, or why couldn't Ravi? Why couldn't Ravi carry the bag? Carry the bag. So in this way, we can get negative questions also. If it is a question with who and how many people, so just you see, we have to remove this he and use who. Who could understand the subject becomes a question. And here also, Ravi couldn't carry the bag. Removing this hurry, if we use who couldn't carry the bag? And if it is like how many people, for example, how many people could understand the subject? How many people couldn't carry the bag? How many of you could understand the subject becomes a question. How many of you couldn't carry the bag is a question. So in the case of who, how many people, how many of you, how many of us, how many of them, simply we have to remove the subject of a statement and replace it with the words. You can get questions. Thank you for watching this channel. We'll meet in the next episode.